This is the first goal against Nakoa this past weekend. Little breakdown of exactly what happened, or at least of what I saw what happened. This starts off of a throw-in. We're attacking, and we are in this little bunch. Here's the ball. What we've been working on this week is trying to make sure that our back line stays connected to the mids here to keep this gap somewhere between 10 to 15 yards, closer to 15 yards, keeping them closer. In the past, we've stayed a little far back here, and it exposed the big gap now. What's wrong with that gap? So take a look at it right now. So our back line is here, and our mids, like Coach Steve's mentioned a couple of times during the game, we're very jumbled up here in the mids. So we have this somewhat larger gap than we need, and Nako is actually going to take advantage of that. See the guy slip out of that? So when he receives the ball, he's in full space. Luckily, our mids caught up or hustled back, and they were able to kind of jam that attack. At the same time, let's take a look at the back line here. So we always talk about how the two center backs need to be communicating to stay even with each other, and our outside backs should always stay higher than the mids. All right, freeze it. This is a habit that we've been that a bad habit that we've been doing the last couple games. Now, as Coach Steve said, we didn't really work on it. We've just been telling the boys. So this is something that, and that's why we're making this video. All right. The two center backs again need to do a better job communicating to stay even with each other. Now, you see how we're running? There's really no reason for just because this Nakoa attacker takes off running. We've been having a bad habit of going ahead and taking off with him. When we see him, we start running. Now, this isn't football. You know, you don't have to cover this wide receiver. If our center back holds even with this center back, our Nakoa player is now offsides. If our ball is sent while the Nakoa player is in offsides position, it's our ball right here. All right, so take a look at it. So we jam him, and now what we're doing is these guys think that this is the line. This is the line of the defense. So for our center back here, who's looking at the ball, he's thinking that anything beyond him is safe because it's offside. We cannot be standing here for no reason because we're keeping this man onside. So when our attacker kicks it, some of us might be thinking that it's offside. Here it is. But because we're so sagged back, we're keeping him onside. If our center back is even with this line, ref is going to call it. See how the ref is a little slow, but the ref knows that he is now onside because of our center back. We were able to, our keeper was able to play it, or able to pick it up. And all right, so now see what we did. This is another thing that we tend to do, and we need to break this habit. This is where all of the defenders are. You know, if you take a look at our space, where is our space? We have a tendency of playing it and forcing it into areas that are crowded. When we look at our space here, there's a lot of space here. What if we build out like normal and send our back wide and play it here? Right? We'd have all of this space to work with. No reason to force it into the crowd. Be able to counter quickly. We lose sight of the man on the backside. It's actually a great pass. See that ball? Splitting our two center backs from here and our outside Nakoa back. Right through the defense. Nakoa knows that our keeper is moving this way. It's going to be hard to shoot it. To stop it. Oh, what a great shot. Wheeler with a great try to stop it, but he was moving in that direction. I don't think that's his fault. That's a tough stop.